Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. And hope you're having a good day. And I just kind of want to talk a little bit about some Islamic mythology. And I bet you, hello, Abla, God bless you, Shalom. I bet you these stories are in the Talmud. No, let me see. Just because it seems like the craziest stories always turn out to be from the Talmud. Does the Talmud Unfortunately, in all the vast stories of ancient rabbinic literature, no text has been discovered that corresponds to the Quran's motifs of Jews who caught fish on Saturday and then being turned into pigs and monkeys. Okay. Okay. Well, the Quran does call Jews, say that Jews, hello, Tiger, God bless you, man. Hope you're having a good day. And, the Quran does talk about Allah turning Jews into pigs and monkeys. It's a strange, well, see, I don't want the tafsir, I want the actual verse. Okay, it's one of the places where you find this is in Surat al-Baqarah, the chapter of the cow. And there's lots of animals in this chapter. And it says, you are already aware of those who broke the Sabbath. We said to them, be disgraced apes. So be apes. So although many scholars believe that these individuals were turned into real apes, others interpret the verse in a metaphorical sense. The style is not uncommon in the Quran in 62:5 regarding the donkey that carries books and 2:18 regarding the deaf, dumb, and blind. Well, this is one of the pig and monkey chapters. There's others. And, and the Jews really, they were really punished severely. Because they were turned into pigs and monkeys, and according to Muhammad, they were also turned into rats. And so it says here, you are aware of those who broke the Sabbath. We said to them, be disgraced apes. So because they broke the Sabbath, in this case, they were fishing. And, they were fishing because they didn't have food all week long. The fish would not come around except for on Saturday. And so they went fishing on Saturday. And then Allah turns them into apes. Okay, now I'm trying to see the other. Okay. Okay, there's also chapter 7, 166. Let's look at 7, 166. Maybe I can just go from here. Be stubborn, but they stubbornly persisted in violation. We said, be disgraced apes again. Here Allah is saying he turned the Jews into monkeys, turned them into in this case, apes. Okay. Okay. Let's go back and look. Okay, 560. Okay, there's also 560. Let's see what it says. 560. Shall I inform you of those who deserve worse punishment from Allah than the rebellious? It is those who earned Allah's condemnation and displeasure. Some of them reduced to apes and pigs, and worshippers of false gods. Those are far worse in rank. Okay. So here, 560. So Allah just turns people into things. Monkeys. 3. Okay. Let's go back. All right. Let's just see if there's sacrificed on altars. Okay. Accept. All right. The 2. Okay. Okay. Let's just, I just was, first of all, let's just see what a couple of Islamic scholars have to say about this amazing Pinky. Uh-oh. Pinky. People are talking about you. And you know what, you guys? I'm of the opinion that it's not right to talk about someone in their absence. And because people are talking about Pinky, I feel that he should be here to hear this. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'll just go ahead and tell it to you, tell it the way it is. That that Pinky doesn't like when I talk about this. Okay. He goes through these swings, and he's just extremely moody. Okay. And so he always goes through these issues. And so when I talk about this particular topic, he gets, I won't say gets offended. He just kind of goes into this, where he kind of gives me the silent treatment, and you got a yarmulke? Okay. All right. I just want to see a couple of these amazing wisdom that we can glean from these. Okay. Now it's going to be Arabic, so I will translate it for you.
والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد أخبر أنه ما جعل الله.
Okay, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said,
الله لمسخ نسلا ولا عقبة كما صحيح مسلم. ما جعل الله لمسخ نسلا ولا عقبة. فالمسخ الممسوخ لا يكون له عقب.
Okay, that which is copied, there's no contract. I'm not sure what that means.
ولا يكون له نسل. هو
or lineage.
ممسوخ ثم يموت. فما
Eat and then he dies.
ما يقال مثلا أن الخنازير أو القردة اللي اليوم هم من بني إسرائيل مثلا.
For instance, today, okay, now he's talking about, well, what happened to the Jews who were turned into pigs and monkeys? Okay, this is a very important point. This is very important. So he's explaining something very important here, because people have questions, of course. I mean, he's saying that those pigs and monkeys, the Jews were turned into these pigs and monkeys. Well, what happened? Are all pigs and monkeys now Jews? He's saying no. He's saying those pigs and monkeys, after they were, and he uses the word nesek, which is kind of funny because that's the word that they use for abrogated, but as nasikh, mansukh. But after they were like transformed into pigs and monkeys, that they died after they lived their healthy pig life and then healthy monkey life, and then they died. And they did not have like children. They did not have like monkey children or pig children. They just died, to where you can't really say that the Jews today are monkeys and pigs. Beautiful words.
تناسلوا.
There was no reproduction.
وذاك من الخطأ الذي يقوله البعض الآن، يقول أبناء القردة والخنازير.
So it's wrong to say that the Jews of today, the Israelites, are the children of pigs and monkeys.
هم ليسوا أبناء، هم أبناء بشر.
Why do you say that? They're the children of humans. Why do you call them children of monkeys and pigs? And they do.
إلا إذا أراد أن آباءهم حولوا أو مسخوا إلى قردة وخنازير.
Unless their parents were changed from monkeys and pigs.
وكانت عائشة رضي الله تقول يا إخوان القردة.
Like Aisha used to say, oh, brothers of the pigs.
والخنازير.
And monkeys.
أي أن إخوانكم السابقين انقلبوا إلى قردة وخنازير.
That your previous brothers were turned into pigs and monkeys. So beautiful wisdom there. Very helpful. You should really benefit from that. Let's see this one.
قال من لعنه الله وغضب عليه وجعل.
It says Allah got mad at some and cursed them.
على منهم القردة والخنازير.
He changed some to pigs and monkeys.
هذه كلها صفات اليهود.
These are all attributes of the Jews.
حينما عاقبهم الله تبارك وتعالى، وبعضهم قال اليهود والنصارى.
First Allah hit them, but then it's the Jews and Christians.
قردة، ففي قول الله تبارك وتعالى ولقد علمتم الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين.
We saw those that rebelled in the desert, and we said to them, be cursed apes.
والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
Muhammad
ذكر مسخ
mentioned
هؤلاء إلى قردة، قال إن الله لم يمسخ قوما ويجعل لهم عقبا.
That Allah switched them into pigs.
يعني نسلا، فالممسوخ لا نسل له، فالقردة.
Okay, the clone, or the transformed Jew that became a pig or a monkey, he has no descendants.
الموجودة الآن
like the Jews who exist today,
ليسوا أبناء أولئك اليهود.
They are not the descendants of those Jews, those particular ones that became monkeys and pigs.
وإنما القردة موجودة قبل اليهود.
But monkeys existed before Jews. Monkeys existed before Jews. It's very important.
وموجودة بعد اليهود.
And they existed after Jews. Monkeys existed before the Jews, and they existed after Jews.
ولكن جماعة من اليهود
But a group of the Jews
الذين اعتدوا في السبت
that broke the Sabbath,
عاقبهم الله تبارك وتعالى بأن صيرهم قرودا ثم ماتوا
he punished them and turned them into pigs and monkeys.
وانتهى أمرهم.
And their situation ended.
ولذلك لا يقال عن اليهود مثلا اليوم يقال هؤلاء أبناء القردة.
So we cannot really say that the Jews of today are the children of monkeys and pigs.
والخنازير هم ليسوا أبناء القردة.
They are not the children of monkeys and pigs.
لكن قد يقال إخوان القردة والخنازير.
But they're called the brothers of monkeys and pigs.
يعني صاروا مثلهم.
In other words, they became like them.
صاروا جنسا من جنسهم أي من جنس القردة.
Like they became part of their race. They became of the race of the monkeys.
والخنازير.
And the pigs.
والخنازير
And the pigs.
قيل إن هذا وقع على النصارى.
Oh, okay. Clarity, guys. Things are clarified. See, this guy really does bring clarity, which is so important. That what really happened is that the Jews were turned into monkeys, but it was the Christians who were turned into pigs.
لما كفروا بعيسى عليه الصلاة والسلام
When they disbelieved regarding Isa.
قلب الله بعضهم خنازير والعلم عند الله جل وعلا. لكن هناك جماعة
Allah turned some of them into monkeys, but then when judgment day comes,
من الناس من أهل الكتاب صيرهم الله قرودا وجماعة صيرهم الله خنازير.
Some of them Allah turned into monkeys, and some of them Allah turned into pigs.
قال وعبد الطاغوت.
And those that worship the Taghut.
أي جعل منهم القردة.
He made some of them monkeys.
والخنازير.
And pigs.
وعبد الطاغوت أي من عبد الطاغوت.
And the worshippers of
عبد الطاغوت أي من عبد الطاغوت. هؤلاء شر من يعيبونهم من المؤمنين. هم يعيبون على المؤمنين. فالله تبارك وتعالى يقول أنت.
Okay, so there we have some great wisdom, very beneficial wisdom. See what this guy says.
ومما ينبه إليه حسن تعابير العلماء وسلامتها من الخطأ، فإن المصنف هنا لم يقل أبناء القردة والخنازير كما يقوله بعض الناس ويقولون أحفاد القردة والخنازير، لأن الله عز وجل لم يمسخ شيئا إلا قطع نسله كما ثبت بذلك الحديث، واليهود ليسوا من نسل من مسخ من الخنازير والقردة.
Okay. He also is kind of saying the same thing right there. Let's see if this guy. Okay, this guy here is actually there's actually some discussion here, an interview.
يسأل يا شيخ عن القردة يقول
Okay, the sheikh is asking about monkeys.
هل أصلهم من الإنسان كما
Are they originally people,
قال الله تعالى
as Almighty Allah says,
وجعل منهم القردة والخنازير
that He made some of them pigs and monkeys?
الممسوخ لا يبقى.
Okay, he says those transformed monkeys and pigs do not exist anymore.
الممسوخ لا يبقى
They do not exist anymore.
بل يموت، ولكن
They died.
جعل منهم القردة والخنازير وعبد الطاغوت أو عبد الطاغوت، هذه عقوبة من الله لهم. نعم.
That they be changed into monkeys and pigs, that was Allah's punishment. Yes, that's absolutely right. So there you have it, you guys. This is serious business, you know. Hey, Jose. Well, Jose, the problem is that the Quran says that Allah turned certain people into pigs and monkeys. You know, I don't know if you knew this. Let me show you the verses so you can see that Allah turned Jews. But, you know, the other guy was saying it wasn't just the Jews. Apparently, because the Quran says that Allah turned some into pigs and monkeys. And one of these very wise imams said that the Jews were turned into apes, but the Christians were turned into monkeys. I mean, excuse me, the Christians were turned into the pigs. So we are the pigs, and then the Jews are the monkeys. So, you know, beautiful teaching of Muhammad. This is in the Quran, by the way, so it's not like, here's one. But when they stubbornly persisted in violation, we said to them, be disgraced apes. This is Quran 7:166. Quran 2:65. You are already aware of those who broke the Sabbath. We said to them, be disgraced apes. So Allah turns them into apes. And here's another one. And then 560, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Say, O prophets, shall I inform you of those who deserve worse punishment from Allah than the rebellious? It is those who earned Allah's condemnation, displeasure, some being reduced to apes and pigs. Okay, I want to see it in Arabic. Kul hal abna'akum bashar min dhalik mathuba عند الله من لعنة الله أغضب وأغضب عليه وجعل منهم الكردة والخنازير. Okay, so Allah got mad at them and he turned some of them into monkeys and pigs. So, but these imams that we've listened to have provided a great deal of very important insight. For instance, I know we've already said it. Sorry. Please close your ears. Close your ears, Pinky, okay? Because I don't want Pinky to hear this. You know, he gets just really moody. You know, I'll just be honest with you, okay? So I don't want him to hear this. So just so that he doesn't hear this. It does say in the Quran that you know, that they were turned into pigs and monkeys. Okay, and some people are going to say, okay, all right. They're apes, not just pigs, but apes. You know, so it's kind of like reverse Darwin. It's kind of a reverse Darwin, because, you know, in Darwin's case, monkeys became humans, but with Muhammad, humans became monkeys. So just kind of like a reverse Darwin. And you know what's really interesting is that both Muhammad and Darwin started getting their revelations when they turned 40. So I guess that's midlife crisis. And yes. Well, according to the Quran, Jose, that is what the Quran says. And so let me see if I got any other great imams who can provide us with some insight into this amazing stories of Islam. Okay, there was also this guy here. Okay, this guy bored me a little bit. Let's see what this guy says here.
انه يقفز عنها. هون لاحظوا لما كلهم كونوا قردة، اذا هو طردهم من عالم. دققوا معي هون يبدو خاص.
Okay, you guys, please pay attention. Okay, please pay attention. This guy he really wants to say something important. So, okay, this is Durus al-Sheikh Basim Jarrar. Okay, this is Sheikh Basim Jarrar. Looks like one of my relatives, to be honest. Okay.
انه يقفز عنها. هون لاحظوا لما كلهم
Please pay attention.
كونوا قردة، اذا هو طرد.
When he said, be monkeys.
هم من عالم دققوا معي هون.
Please pay attention, okay? You know, if you're drinking Coke or eating popcorn or something, don't be distracted. This is so important, you guys. Please pay attention. This is deep wisdom.
لاحظوا لما كلهم كونوا قردة إذا هو طردهم من عالم دققوا معي هون يبدو خاسئين مطرودين من وين طالما
So they are losers. They have been kicked out of where?
هو طرد فيه إهانة. فهو لاحظوا
This is an accusation.
هو طرد من الإنسانية لإشي أقل منها. حتى شوفوا
Yeah, but yeah, so amazing wisdom here. They have been kicked out of human nature to something less than human nature. So they have been ejected from human nature to something lesser than human nature.
رحمة الله أقل منها بس بدرجها. رحمة الله أقل منها أنا. فهو لاحظوا هو طرد من الإنسانية لإشي أقل منها. حتى شوفوا رحمة الله.
Look at the mercy of Allah, people. Look at the mercy of Allah. That's what he's saying. Okay, so they were kicked out of humanity to be something less. Just look at the mercy of Allah, people. This is amazing mercy of Allah.
أقل منها
They are something less than humanity.
بس بدرجها.
Just by 1 degree. Isn't that amazing? Just 1 degree lesser than human. Just daraja. Just 1 step, 1 degree less than humanity. Look at the mercy of Allah, mashallah.
يعني ما طردهم مش طرد.
He didn't just kick them out, this rejection.
لأنه يبدو تكريم الإنسان على فكرة مش بسيطة. حتى
Okay, the honor that Allah has for the humanity is not a simple subject.
حتى لما حولهم لقردة قال لكم اسمعوا وخنازير أنا طردتهم من الإنسانية إلى ما أقل منها مباشرة.
Okay, even when he turned them from monkeys into pigs to something, it was just like it was an instant thing, and it was just a degree lower than humanity.
لذلك في المرة الماضية لما قلت لكم يبدو إنه شمبانزي لأنه هذول
Remember what I told you last time about turning them into chimpanzees? You guys, are you listening? Again. You guys, I'm very sensitive. I don't want Pinky to listen to this. Okay, this is very hard. I know you guys want to see Pinky, and I understand that you guys miss Pinky, but this is really difficult for Pinky to listen to this. So I really don't want Pinky. I don't want Pinky listening to this. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, you know, it concerns me that Pinky is listening to this, though, because Pinky turns very blue. Okay, when he hears stuff like this, such deep wisdom.
أقرب كائنين لما اليوم الدراسات خصوصا بعد 2002.
Okay, there's lots of deep wisdom right now. It's been, for the last 2,000 years.
وقضية الدراسات الجينية.
And all of the topic of religious studies.
وتسلسل الجينات.
And when you look at the genetic development,
وجدوا مثلا الشمبانزي.
They found that the chimpanzee.
شمبانزي تسلسل الجيني أقرب تسلسل بنسبة بتشبه تسلسلات.
It resembles the genetic DNA. The way the DNA molecules are arranged.
الجينية للإنسان بنسبة 96%.
It's 96% similar to the human. So look at the wisdom of Allah, that, he turned these Jews into monkeys, chimpanzees. We can assume chimpanzees because chimpanzees, 96% of the genetic makeup similar to the human. Just amazing wisdom.
شمبانزي بالذات.
Just like the chimpanzee.
شقرد شمبانزي.
Like the chimpanzee.
ثم عندكم الخنزير.
And then you have the pig.
هذول الاثنين الآن بيبحثوا العلماء.
The scholars have studied the monkeys and the pigs. These are the two that the scholars have studied.
قضية نقل الأعضاء من هذول الاثنين.
Because of the, like when somebody needs a transplant, like a liver transplant.
حتى بالعكس كان في تجارب نقل قلب خنزير إلى قرد.
They even tried this. They transferred a pig's heart into a monkey's body.
ونجحت.
And backwards, back and forth.
من قلب خنزير.
And it succeeded.
قرد.
And the heart of a pig into a monkey.
وحتى الأعضاء البشرية الآن.
Even human organs.
خططوا هم.
They planned.
شوفوا مش صدفة. مش.
It's not an accident, people. It's not an accident. No. This is very serious.
صدفة قردة وخنازير.
Monkeys and pigs.
مش صدفة قردة. ثم.
Not an accident.
تدرس الآن في عالم البيولوجيا وإيش؟
In the world of biology, people who study biology.
بيقولوا العلماء عن القردة والخنازير.
What do the scholars say about monkeys and pigs?
وخصوصا الشمبانزي.
Especially the chimpanzee. Don't listen, Pinky. It's especially. Excuse me, you guys. Let me sneeze. Excuse me.
خصوصا ولذلك توقعت لما قلنا في المرة.
When I saw this, then I expected.
الماضية لأنه هو طردهم.
Because he kicked them out.
طردهم من المرتبة الإنسانية إلى مرتبة.
From the degree of humanity.
بأقل ديروا بالكم مش طردهم من مرتبة إنسانية لمرتبة دنيا كثير لا.
No, he didn't take them from this exalted humanity scale down to some other world or something. No.
على الحدود.
We're just right next door. Just one step down.
على الحدود.
Right on the limit there. Right on the door. Just like, just so close. 96% genetic equality.
من قردة من البشر طردوا طرد إهانة. وفي مثل المسخ طرد إهانة.
From human nature, just one little drop down.
إهانة من إلى. وهذا إخبار لكم.
And that is news to you. That is news to you. You listening, Pinky?
نديروا بالكم القردة والخنازير قريبة إنكم تستفيدوا منها كبشر.
They are creatures that you can benefit from as human beings.
هذا جايكم تحت مباشرة.
This is the exact immediate next level underneath the human, immediately beneath the human, the next genetic descent, the next level of genetic development next to the human. It's just like just like one little step down is the pigs and monkeys.
تحتكم مباشرة.
It is immediate, one step down.
فموادنا هم مش بعيد.
So Allah didn't send them far away to something way far away.
طرد ما كانش يعني لمسافات بعيدة.
They didn't send them far away to something way distant, like maybe he doesn't say, but I'm assuming like an insect, for instance, like a lice or something.
يعني مش أجعلهم كلاب مثلا.
He didn't turn them into dogs. Hello. He did not turn them into dogs.
مش فئران. مش
He didn't turn them into mice, even though maybe this guy doesn't know about the hadiths about the mice.
ركز على قردة بالدرجة الأولى مرتين.
He focused on monkeys in the first level.
ركز على قردة.
Focus on the monkeys.
ولقد علمتم الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم.
Did you learn what? Let me see.
الذين اعتدوا منكم في السبت فقلنا لهم 3 مرات حتى، مش هيك؟ ثم مرة خنزير،
And then a pig.
ثم مرة خنزير. ويبدو انه الخنزير بالدرجة ايش؟ وعلى فكرة الان في دراسات على قضية نقل قلب الخنزير
And they've even done studies now where they transfer the heart of a pig
للإنسان.
into human.
واقول لكم من زمان بعض شرايين الخنازير بركب.
And some of the veins of the pigs, they can use them, veins and arteries and aortas. Oops, sorry.
بحطوها
They put it inside of a human.
الإنسان. وقلب الخنزير في حجمه قريب من
And the size of the pig heart is close to the human heart.
تفاصيل طويلة.
And there's lots of details.
والأنسولين أصلا مأخوذ من كذا.
And insulin, they take it from the pigs.
خنزير وقرد. طب ما هو اللي الله سبحانه وتعالى طردهم من الجانب الإنساني، نزلهم مرتبة واحدة. شو نزلهم؟
Allah who kicked the humans, these Jews, out of the level of humanity. He just knocked them one little tiny notch down to this next level of evolution, I guess, maybe development.
أول شيء قردة.
First of all, the monkeys. Okay, sorry, Pinky. Okay, I know you don't want to keep hearing this. I'm just trying to close his ears for a little bit, just to give him a break, because this is very intense. This is very hard for Pinky. Okay.
قردة كأنه في ناس على فكرة أساءوا أكثر خنازير. يعني
It's as if some people are like pigs.
فهمتوا؟ أما التركيز في الدرجة الأولى إيش؟ قردة.
On this one level, they're monkeys.
وهن أقرب ناس الآن. الناس بسميهم ناس، على فكرة يمكن تسميتهم ناس بعدين بنقول ليش.
And some people, you can call them that.
أقرب شيء القردة بعدين بالذات.
The closest thing to human is the monkeys, especially the chimpanzee, guys. Especially the chimpanzee. It's the closest thing to the human being.
الشمبانزي، ما هو حتى القردة نفسها أشكال وألوان.
And you guys, another thing, did you ever notice that monkeys come in lots of different colors? You have pink. Okay, that monkeys come in lots of different colors. Huh? What do you think that is?
الشمبانزي.
Chimpanzee.
بعدين يبدو الخنزير.
And then the pig.
انه اللي مسخوا خنازير اجت بعدين في شغله اشد واعتداء.
After they were turned into pigs, then came something even more severe.
على قدسيه اشد. فهمتوا؟ يعني خصوصا لما يكون مشاهد عقوبات قردة ومش عاجبه. مش عاجبك قردة، طب روحوا.
First of all, you were turned into monkeys, and you don't like monkeys. You don't like monkeys.
خنازير.
Be a pig. Be a pig instead.
لكن ابعد كثير.
Is that far away?
ما ابعدش كثير.
No. It's not way down, because monkey is the immediate next to the human, and then the pig. Remember.
أذكر ما مسخت أمة قط فيكون لها نسل.
Okay. They weren't changing to cats.
وإن الله سبحانه وتعالى لم يجعل لمسخ نسلا ولا عقبة.
Allah the Almighty did not cause these transformed monkeys and pigs to have descendants.
وقد كانت القردة والخنازير قبل ذلك في الأحاديث.
And amazingly, there were monkeys and pigs before this event. Okay, so there you guys, some tremendous wisdom, tremendous Islamic wisdom. So okay, all right. So there you go, you guys. You have the evidence, okay, that you need. Okay, so one thing he didn't talk about was the fact that these some Jews were also were rats. Some of them were rats. Remember, Muhammad talked about that. Okay. Animal stories in the Quran. Oh, there's actually a cartoon about this. I do believe this is that story. Let me see. As much as I want to share that with you, so you can glean the wisdom of it, I really want to share that with you. But one thing I just want to do, the last thing I kind of want to do is I'm just kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what the hadiths, especially Ibn Kathir, has to say about this amazing miracle. Okay, especially this one right here, 560. Let's just look at Ibn Kathir. This is kind of the last thing we're going to do. Okay, commentaries. Okay, let's go to Ibn Kathir. Maybe Ibn Abbas. Sometimes Ibn Abbas, because he was the one that was closest to Muhammad. So he really was there, right there by the fountain of wisdom. And then they revealed their sayings. We do not know any religious community that is more disfavored than Muhammad and his companions. Saying, shall I tell thee of a worse case than theirs? That which is worse than what you told Muhammad and his companions, for retribution with Allah, for him who is going to be punished by Allah. Worst is the case of him whom Allah hath cursed, imposing on him the capitation tax, him on which his wrath hath fallen. Worse is he whose sort Allah hath turned some to apes in the time of David, and swine in the time of Jesus, after eating from the table that Allah sent from heaven. Okay, let's go back. Apparently, this is worth asking Ibn Kathir. Because, Ibn Kathir was kind of the cleanup guy. He had to come up and clean up after these guys. And try to make Islam look good. Most of his stuff is, and this hundreds of years later, and there were so many embarrassing things that he was kind of the cleanup guy. Same way Republicans have to always clean up after the Democrat. Sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Okay. Those whom he transformed into monkeys and swine, as we mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, and we also mentioned in Surah Al-Araf, Sufyan Ath-Thawri narrated, Allah's messenger was asked if the current monkeys and swine were those whom Allah transformed. Okay, guys, very important wisdom here. We need to please pay attention. This is important, Pinky. Listen. Okay, this is Ibn Kathir. Okay, we're going to Ibn Kathir, you guys. Okay, Allah's messenger was asked if the current monkeys and swine were those whom Allah transformed. He said, Allah never destroyed a people by transforming them and then making offsprings or descendants for them. The monkeys and swine existed before that. This was recorded by Muslims. So this is actually Muhammad's words, okay? Those who worshiped Taghut and served them became their servants. The meaning of this ayah is, O people of the scriptures who mock our religion, which consists of Allah's Tawheed, okay, such as drink, okay? All right, so, but anyway, guys, this is so important right here that this really shows that the pigs and monkeys of today are not the descendants of those pigs and monkeys. Ibn Mas'ud said this, you guys. So the pigs and monkeys of today are not those pigs and monkeys. وَإِنَّ الْكِرْدَ وَالْخَنَازِيرَ كَانَتْ قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ, because there were pigs and monkeys before this transformation occurred. Okay, so all right, our brother, let's see, our brother sent us a, let's see, where is it? Oh, okay, let me just, 1 second. Our brother sent us something here. I wanted to share it with you all. Oh, okay, yes. Okay. Take the photos. Okay. I got this. Okay, right here. Shoot, where did it go? Okay. 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 I just want to show you this hadith here. Very important hadith. Let's look at this together here. It says, the prophet, a group of Israelites were lost. Nobody knows what they did, but I do not see them except that they were cursed and changed into rats. For if you put the milk of a she-camel in front of a rat, it will not drink it. But if the milk of a sheep is put in front of the rat, it will drink it. I told this to Ka'b, who asked me, did you hear it from the prophet? I said, yes. Ka'b asked me the same question several times. I said to Ka'b, do I read the Torah? I.e., I tell you this from the prophet. So this also is, so the Jews were also turned into rats. And the proof, of course, is that they do not drink the milk of camels. And you guys, I know there's so many questions that are going through your minds right now. And so I think it's important to bring Grok into this. But let's ask Grok about this situation. Okay. Are there any historic evidence of Jews who were turned into monkeys and pigs?
No, there's no historical evidence for that. The idea comes from a single verse in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:65, where some scholars interpret transformed into apes as a metaphor for disgraceful behavior, not literal transformation. No archaeological or historical records support literal changes into monkeys or pigs. It's a religious narrative, not a factual event.
But the scholars of Islam say it was an actual event.
Some do interpret it literally. but there's still no historical or archaeological proof outside Islamic texts. The verse refers to a group punished for breaking the Sabbath, described as being turned into apes. Without corroborating evidence like records from Jewish or other contemporary sources, it stays a matter of faith, not fact. Scholars vary on whether it's symbolic or real. No consensus exists, even among Muslims.
Is there a genetic brotherhood between chimpanzees and humans?
Sure is. Chimpanzees and humans share about 98 to 99% of our DNA. We're closest relatives in the animal kingdom, both descended from a common ancestor around 6 to 7 million years ago. That's why chimps act so familiar. Gestures, social bonds, even some problem-solving skills mirror ours.
And is there a genetic, are pigs a genetic relative?
No, pigs aren't close genetic relatives to humans like chimps are. We share maybe 80 to 90% of DNA with pigs, far less than the 98% with chimps. Pigs are mammals, so there's some distant cousinship. Think tens of millions of years back, but they're more closely related to other artiodactyls like cows or deer than to us. The similarity is mostly in physiology, like organ size, which is why pig parts are used in some medical transplants.
So there you have it, you guys. The deep wisdom of Grok, almost as deep as what we've been hearing here. So, all right, well, shoot, we almost made it for an hour. Pinky, you did really good. I got to say, I'm really proud of you, Pinky. I was concerned about Pinky. I'll be honest with you guys. You know, like I told you, I was concerned about Pinky, and especially with that amazing thing that he said. Hey, look at monkeys. You ever notice that monkeys come in lots of different colors? Like humans, you guys, they come in different colors. And so, of course, we know that Pinky is a pink monkey. So anyway, I don't know if there are any Muslims here who would like to come on and help us understand. We're dumb kuffar. And if you want to come join us and help us, or if you have any questions or any topic that you would like to talk about, we welcome you to come on. If you're a Muslim, here's the link. So I don't know where Jose went. Jose, ironic. Christians for being a Muslim, even though there's no Christian that would kill you, Jose. Jesus never said to kill. Muhammad did, of course. Muhammad said, "Men baddal dina fa'uqtilu." So you are supposed to kill me, because Muhammad said, whoever changes his Islamic religion, kill him. Okay. So how are you doing, man?
Hey man, salam alaikum.
Hey. انت
How you
بتحكي
doing,
عربي
man?
صرت.
How you doing?
بتحكي عربي صرت.
Huh?
انت صرت هلكيت بتحكي عربي.
No, you can't talk to me too much in Arabic, man. I speak only English and Spanish.
What do you think about Allah turning Jews into pigs and monkeys? Is that a good thing?
I mean, if that's what they earned, I don't know how bad of people they're being, but I
Yeah.
do believe
Well,
it.
you know what? It says that they were fishing on Saturday.
They're fishing on Saturday.
And so
Well,
Allah turned them.
that to me doesn't sound too bad, but I mean, if the boss tells you not to do it, you probably shouldn't do it.
So he turns them into pigs. He turns them into pigs and monkeys.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I believe that. Or it could be some people that are still here, and maybe their character is kind of pig like, dirty,
Oh.
sloth like.
Well, according to the Quran, Allah literally turned them into pigs and monkeys. And
But
that's kind of the funny thing about Allah is
yeah,
that there's people who murdered thousands of people Or like Muhammad, when he molested a 6-year-old girl, and Allah didn't do nothing about that. But when somebody goes fishing on Saturday, he turns them into a monkey or a pig. Does that seem like justice to you?
Well, that took a real quick turn, right? But I don't
So,
I don't understand. I don't
Muhammad,
know the context of why they returned to them, and I don't know the context of why 1,500 years ago a man, or they still do it to these days, but I don't know why a man was married to a younger woman, a way younger woman.
well, I wouldn't call her a woman. She was only 6 years old. So, and it was Muhammad, your prophet, who married her
Yeah, but
when she
it's
was
because
six.
like, hold on, it's because when I learned about Aisha, I had learned about like when she was already grown, and then I found out about them being married very young, and then they were like tribal people type. But I'm not gonna talk about it. I won't even talk about your wife. I won't talk about no one's wife, man. You know.
You want to talk? You don't want to talk about your prophet's wife, 6-year-old wife?
But
That's okay with you?
but how about
You,
when he
you,
was?
you
But
know,
how?
Jose.
eh,
Jose, that there's lots of Muslim men who marry young girls today
Not in
because of
America.
your prophet's example.
Not in
There's
America.
no, in America, and in Saudi Arabia, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So Muhammad. The Quran says Muhammad is a perfect example for all mankind. So
Yeah.
there's lots of young girls who are being married to these old 80-year-old men, and the men said, "Well, Muhammad did it, and he's my example." And so you're okay with that?
Um. No.
You're not okay with it? Okay, that's very good. It's good that you're not okay with that. But I just want to tell you, Islam is okay with that. Islam is okay with that. And so if you follow Islam,
But
you don't have it. Allah is okay with that. Allah is okay with that. And
but
so
like, hey,
it's
brother,
very good.
like
It's very good that
his
you're better
his
than Allah.
historically, like speaking though, like if we're talking about history, 1,500 years ago,
Yeah.
uh, that was common back in those days from all races, from everybody.
You, you know what though? When somebody wanted to marry Muhammad's daughter, and she was like 12 years old, Muhammad said, "No, she's too young." So when she was 12 years old, Fatima, his daughter, somebody wanted to marry her, and Muhammad said, "Oh, no, no, she's too young." But Aisha, who was 6 years old, Muhammad was lusting for her. He was dreaming of her, and he
Yeah.
married her when she was 6. And then when he was 54, he had sex with her when she was 9 years old, full
Hey,
sex.
brother.
Yeah, I mean, he did
Hey,
stuff
brother.
before then.
Hey,
He did
brother.
stuff before then, huh?
Yeah. Hey, brother. But you
Don't call
you
me
are
brother.
you are Arab, right?
Yeah, I am.
And you're
Arab.
from over there, right?
Yep, yeah, I am.
Like, in your ancestors, that was common, wasn't it?
Well, you know what? There's something in the human heart.
Hey, brother,
There's
it's
something
because
in the,
like,
there's
me, I'm
something in the
Mexican.
human
I'm
heart.
Mexican, right?
Uh,
And like 1,500 years ago, I'm pretty sure
uh-huh.
like those people were doing it over here, like everywhere in
Oh,
the world.
you sure about that, huh? That they were raping little girls?
I don't I don't think they were like raping them, but I think they would like.
No, that when it's a little 6-year-old girl, 9-year-old girl, that's called rape. And so you're saying that your people, the Mexicans, were doing that? Is that what you're saying
No,
about your
I'm
people,
saying
the Mexicans? You're saying that they were
that.
raping little girls? That's a
No,
terrible thing to say about your people. That's a
you're
terrible
taking
thing
it
to say about your people. You
you're
know,
taking it you're taking it out of
you're
like
you're
context.
you're saying that your people, because you want to justify Muhammad. You
No,
see, because you want to justify Muhammad, you're throwing your whole
if I
race under the
like
bus.
if I were to
You're
talk
throwing
about
your
like
own people under the bus because you want to
no, if
justify
I were
a
to
sick
talk,
pervert.
no, my people would
A sick
understand what
pervert under the.
I'm
You're
talking.
throwing all your people under the bus because of that.
I'm talking about
What a
1,500 years
shame.
ago.
Uh-huh. 1500. You're saying that your people 1500 were raping little girls, huh? That's what you're saying, huh?
That's not what I'm
Your people
saying.
were
But
doing that 1500 years ago.
the
Yeah,
common age of marriage back
it wasn't
way
common.
back in those times was different. You know.
No, you know what? You're a liar. You're a liar. You don't
Do
know
you
what you're
know
talking about. You're listening to your imams, and they have to
Are you
justify
familiar with
Muhammad.
history, with like human
Well,
history?
the thing is,
Are
first
you
of all, you
familiar
don't
with
know
like
nothing.
human
You don't
history?
know nothing about history. You don't know nothing about history.
I know a
And
lot
the other
about
thing
history,
is,
brother.
and another problem, Jose, is
Like
that
your
this is
people,
not his.
you
This is
Arabs
not.
still do that. You
This
guys are
is
the
this
heavy
is not
practitioners of child
historical.
marriages.
This is not historical. This is happening right now because of your prophet. Because of your prophet, there's little girls being raped right
He
now
was an
in
Arab like you.
Afghanistan.
My
They're
prophet was
being
an
raped
Arab like you.
they're being raped because of your prophet.
All the
Your
prophets were
prophet was the
Arabs like you.
example. Muhammad did this, and so this is what Muhammad taught people to do, and the Quran commands you to follow his example.
But you didn't know my
The
prophet was
Quran
an Arab like
commands
you,
you to
right?
follow his example. You see, the Quran commands you to follow his example. And so, if you want to be a true Muslim, you have to do without question whatever Muhammad did. And so, the men in Afghanistan and Pakistan were marrying these little girls, and Yemen, they're doing what Muhammad did, but they're doing it because Muhammad did it. And so, these little girls are being raped, and you're okay with that. You're okay with that,
I
right?
never said I was okay with that.
Well, it's happening because of Muhammad. And if you're a Muslim and you want to follow Muhammad's example, that is Muhammad's example. And so you have to be okay with it. You see, you have to swallow this camel, Jose. If you want to be a Muslim, what
Yeah.
Muhammad did was pure and good and righteous.
Yeah.
And you have to do what he does.
But
And
you know,
and there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people following his example. There's young girls, 6, 7-year-old girls being married off to 80-year-old men in Yemen. And you know what happens to those girls, Jose? They die. They die because when the men rape them, they die. And you're okay with that, right? Because Muhammad did it, right? You're okay with that because Muhammad did that, right?
I didn't say that.
You're okay with
And
it, bro. You have no choice. You have to agree that it's okay because Muhammad did it. And if Muhammad did it, then you have to accept it. Right?
how old
Because that's
was
what the
Mary when
Quran
she died?
says. That's
How
what the
old was
Quran
Mary?
says. That's what the Quran says, okay? I just want to
Do
tell
you
you
know
that's what the
the
Quran says.
Do you know the marriage ages in the Bible, dude? That's why I
Well,
know you don't know history. You
the
know, in the Bible,
Bible.
there's like 90-year-old people marrying like 12 and 10-year-olds in the Christian Bible.
Okay, go ahead and show that to me in the Bible. Show it to me.
Look it up.
Just show it. No, I'm not going to look it up because I know it's not there. You're
You
lying. You're lying. That's why
if you don't
I know you're
if you
lying.
don't look it.
I know you're lying, but I will show you. I will show you that I will
Okay.
show you that it. You won't find it in my book, but you will
You
find
telling
it.
me
You will find it in your book.
now I know for
Okay.
a fact that you do not know
Now
much about the
you will
Christian
find
Bible.
it in your book. Here, let me just show it to you. Okay. Let me just show it to you so you know that it is in your book. What you're saying is not in my book, but it is in your book. And according to the Quran, you're supposed to follow his example without question. Here it is. That the Prophet married her, Aisha said, when she was 6 years old and consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. Then she remained with him for 9 years until his death. So he was 54, she was 9, 51 when she was 6. And so this is your book, okay? And here's another one, just in case you don't believe me. Here's Sahih al-Bukhari. These are Sahih hadiths. The Prophet wrote the marriage contract with Aisha when she was 6 years old and consummated the marriage with her when she was 9 years old. Okay, so this is what, here's another one. The Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old.
Now go and look up in the Bible. I
Okay.
can't think how many, but I believe Isaiah
It's
and Rebecca.
It's not in the Bible.
Isaiah
It's in
was
your
like
book.
40 and
It's
Rebecca
not
was like
in the
14.
Bible.
Go look it
My
up. There's a
friend,
bunch of them.
go ahead. No, I'm not going to look it up because I know it's not there. The
I'm telling
Bible
you,
is God's
brother,
word.
I'm not getting
The
bullshitting you.
Bible is God's words. These
Remember,
right
me and
here
you
are
are
the
not monkey.
devil's words.
Me and you are not
These
monkeys.
are your books.
We're
This
not
is in your
monkeys or
book.
pigs,
It's
brother.
not in our books. It's
We're
not
not
in our
monkeys or
book, Jose.
pigs.
It's not in our books, Jose. It's in your books.
Yeah,
Okay.
but go look
And
up the
so
Bible.
if you want to believe Muhammad and you're okay with this,
I
well,
believe.
it's all
Okay,
yours. It's all yours, Jose. But you're going to stand in front of Jesus Christ one day, and he's going to ask
no,
you,
I'm not.
why
I'm
were
going to
you okay
stand in
with
front of
this?
God,
He's going to
not
ask
Jesus.
you, why did you say this is okay for all these little girls
He's
in
gonna say. He's gonna
Afghanistan,
tell
in
you.
Yemen, who are because people are following Muhammad's example. And if you're okay with it, that's fine. You're okay with it, and you have to be. You really do. You have to be okay with it, Jose, because Muhammad did it. And if you want to be a Muslim, you have to accept what Muhammad did. This is what Muhammad
Brother,
did.
I am not going
And
to
not only
compare
do you have to
myself.
accept it, you have to follow him. You have to do what he did. That's what, if you want to be a true Muslim.
I
The
already got a
Quran
woman,
says
so I don't got to worry about
you have
that.
to follow his example. He is the perfect example for all mankind. So if you want to be a Muslim, Jose, you have to say this is okay because Muhammad did it, right?
That you're
And
talking
and the
about
men and the men
1,500
who are
years
doing
ago.
it now, that you know what? They're justified to do it according to Islam because Muhammad did it, right? It's okay that they're doing it because Muhammad did it, right? Right? I mean, that's logical, right? Muhammad did it, and
I'm
he's the
not too.
perfect example.
I'm not
And
too
so all
familiar with.
Muslims who are doing it now, they're just following his example. That's okay, right?
Or is that just an
Right,
Arab
Jose?
thing?
That's okay, right? So when an 81-year-old man in Yemen marries a little 6-year-old girl, and then the girls end up dying. I just want you to know, Jose, the girls end up dying when they rape them. Okay, quite often they end up dying, and but you're okay with it, right? Because Muhammad did it, and so this is what Muhammad did. You want to follow Muhammad. This is so. I just want you to know this. This is your religion. This is what your prophet did, and you have to accept it. You have to be okay with it. Okay. If you want to read it, look at that. The prophet married her when she was 6 years old and consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. He was 54.
And how?
54, this decrepit, old, wrinkled 54-year-old man having sex with a 9-year-old girl. And you have to be okay with it because to be a Muslim, you have to say that everything Muhammad did was good. And he
But
did this, for sure he did this. And so you have to be okay with it, you know?
she
And
as her businessman, she could have divorced him whenever. They were married for a very long time.
they were married for 9 years. Yeah. She was, you know what? Eventually she became stronger than him. And she knew that he was going to die real soon. In fact, there's some people who say she's the one who poisoned him. But he died by poison. And some people
Yeah,
say
she
she
took.
was the one who poisoned him,
I heard the
for
story
all the
that
abuse that he heaped on her,
no, no, don't start making up stuff. He was eating with somebody, and then he ran home because he was sick. I know how it
Uh-huh.
went.
Okay, but there's some people who say she's the one because he died with his head in her lap. He died with his head in her lap. And so there's some people who say she kind of just wanted to hasten
He
his
died. He
departure.
died in whose lap? He didn't. He died in Aisha's lap.
Yes, Aisha's lap. She was 18 years old by then.
Yeah, he didn't die in. He went. He ran to her.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't run. He was poisoned and he was barely able to walk. But he needed his pea pot, and then he cursed the Jews and Christians and died.
Because I mean, that's messed up. They poisoned him, man.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you
messed
know
up.
what?
Like God
What do
teaches us.
you
Like look
what do
at
you do
Thanksgiving.
to
Good. Look
he was
at
in.
like you should never mess with food. You know that's messed up.
Mhm. Yeah, but you're okay with Aisha being 6 years old, right? You're
You
okay with that?
Are you okay with poisoning people?
Huh? You're
Would
okay
you?
you're okay with Aisha with Muhammad doing this to Aisha, aren't you?
I feel like you would poison me, man, because I'm
That's what
Muslim.
it means when you became a Muslim, Jose. This is what you
No,
accepted. That's why I
no.
encourage you, Jose. I encourage you to leave Islam. Okay, I really encourage you, bro. If you listen for the rest of your life, if you want to stay with Islam, you are saying that what Muhammad did to Aisha was okay. For the rest of your life, you have to justify this. When you have children and you have a 6-year-old little girl and you look at her and a 54-year-old man comes to you and wants to marry her, if you're going to follow Muhammad's example, you have to let that 54-year-old man have your 6-year-old daughter, because that's the example of your prophet. Okay? And you could try justifying it and everything. I encourage you to leave Islam, Jose, because this is who Muhammad is. This is who you are following. Okay? He married a 6-year-old
Okay,
girl.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
No, you don't. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. Because if you did hear me, you would leave Islam right now. If you did hear me, you would leave Islam right
hey, but
now.
can I ask you a very serious question?
No, I want you just to go ahead and think about this. And I want you just to go ahead and think about this,
Hey.
Jose. I hope that you will make a decision not to follow this man anymore. Okay? I hope you make that decision. Okay? Because this
All right.
man is not worthy of your soul. Okay? He's not worthy of you should not leave the Son of God for this guy. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and end it there. And I want him to keep thinking about this. I want this to stay with him. Let's just pray for him. Father, in Jesus' name, we just pray that you will open his eyes. Lord, open his eyes to the reality of who he is following. And bless him to make the decision not to follow Muhammad anymore. In Jesus' name, Father, we pray that you will touch him, draw him to yourself. In Jesus' name, and let him know the truth, Father. Please, Father, he's a young man. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's been seduced by all of these Muslims. But Lord, please open his eyes to see the truth. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, you guys. No, Jose just made a decision to leave Islam. He wasn't raised in Islam. He was seduced by friends and stuff. So, all right, you guys. God bless you. Thank you for being with us. If you haven't done it, do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yesur sa'idni. Yesur samahni. Yesur udkhul qalbi. We love you. More importantly, he loves you. Thank you for being with us, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.